And in the bottom right, we have
SK MC.
And in the upper left, in the blue, the underdog, he is
웅진 스타즈 플라잉.
Oh man, I cannot wait to see what these guys actually end up doing. You know, PvP, I would say, has actually improved in Heart of the Swarm. You know, it was very hard to be able to tell, is this going to become too volatile again or something? But the way that they tweaked everything, it's really solid. There's a lot of different openers still, just like there were before.
Right.
It's a bit different. Colossus is not as popular. It's a lot harder to go for Colossus because of the strength of Void Rays.
Stargate openings in general are just a lot stronger now.
Yeah, and the thing is, they were really strong before. Like, it was one of the best openings before, but it's totally changed from what it was before. Before, you would always go Stargate into Colossus. Nowadays, nah, you just go into Void Rays.
Yeah, well, Void Rays with the ability to control when they're charging.
Yeah.
It makes for a very tough engagement for the other side.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful about how you play against the Void Ray because, you know, it gets so much damage against Stalkers, so they aren't always the best anti-air. And in fact, Psystorm has made a big entrance into PvP because of there being a lot of Void Rays in the matchup right now.
Yeah, that's
very true. They do stack up, they don't have that much health, and that makes Psystorm relatively useful against
quite good, too, against those groups as well.
Very much so.
We got a probe coming down here now from Flying. I would not be shocked if he hides a pylon somewhere down here. And he might even proxy, let's say a Stargate, something like that. We'll see.
Yeah, that's always a possibility. You know, if you proxy a Stargate, that Oracle does get there a little bit quicker. And, you know, you get an Oracle and a mirror line left alone just for a few seconds.
Yeah, it's just a few seconds. And
it can actually just win you the game straight up. That seemed more of a head butt.
Chest butt, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
They butted heads like rams.
Mm-hmm. What that looked like is getting on or off the subway at rush hour in Seoul.
Yes, it's actually true.
Well, while we wait for these builds to deviate a little bit, Tasteless, in PvP, what are you liking to do? Because I know you've been playing a ton of StarCraft.
Yeah, I'd go 2 Zealot into 2 Sentry, get an Oracle out.
Oh, yeah.
And then what I do is if I hit him... like, let's say I get the Oracle gets in there and I do like a surprising amount of damage, like 6 or more probe kills. Then I 4-gate. Otherwise, I'll back up and expand off that and just kind of go from there. What about you?
Well, I like to open 2 gates, which we see neither player doing here. And part of the reason for that is how long this map is. If it was a bit shorter, 2-gate openers, I feel, are a bit stronger than 1-gate openers. You know, you have the potential to put on a lot of pressure early.
And if you get a sentry or anything like that early on, I mean, that's huge. It is red.
Certainly. Yeah, no, it's definitely red. At least in the center.
Yeah.
Looks kind of like my face when I was a teenager, Tasteless. I had a Zelnaga Watchtower right in the center,
I had a giant birthmark on my face.
But we do have an Oracle on the way here, a Twilight Council for the opponent, and
DTs.
Dark Shrine. And DT openers are no longer all-inish really at all in StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm. You know, with the Dark Shrine costing 100 less gas, it's really beneficial for DT openings. You know, you can actually go DT and defend against anything you need to.
Yeah.
And you can actually transition out of it because you didn't use up a ridiculous amount of resources, just a lot of resources.
Oop. All right, misclick there. Not the end of the world. Now we're going to see, though, how much damage these DTs can do. The Oracle's going to be up, but a lot of this is going to be based off where the Oracle is when he actually starts. Both of these units can do a lot of damage, and it doesn't look like MC is going to be prepared when this Oracle hits to defend his probes. So they might both do a lot of damage early on to each other.
You know, this is smart by Flying. He was kind of walking around in the front trying to keep the units at the ramp. And we'll see if that's actually going to, they're going to stay at that ramp. Will MC actually walk back? Because if he loses 3-4 probes right here and the DTs get scouted, then he's in a lot of trouble.
Here we go. Now he can still micro this. Actually, notice what's funny about when you do the Oracle build. You can actually, as long as you just do enough damage to the probes, it's okay to lose the Oracle.
He got 6 probes there, I think.
That's for Tasteless 4 gates and all ins. Jiminy Christmas.
Well, there's a DT being warped in over near his base, and oh, the Oracle, I believe, where is the Oracle at right now? Because he did get a second Oracle.
We don't have our normal preview screen here, guys.
Yeah,
we will have
that'll
that
be back
bit.
soon.
Yep.
Okay, he has the Oracle, so he's basically fine, and in fact, that Oracle... that Oracle has plenty of energy. You know, if you get the DT there right when the Oracle pops out, then it has to use its 50 starting energy to use that, and then what you do is you run away or you lose the DT, and exactly 60 in-game seconds later, you go back with another DT and the Oracle isn't ready again.
You're so smart. Why so handsome?
Because I do a lot of DT openings.
That makes sense. I actually haven't messed with the DT openings a lot on this.
They're very nice.
I'm doing like kind of what we see Flying doing, these Oracle-based openings.
Well, as we see, you know, he's just looking for the DT, wants to lift it with that Phoenix because then he can go hunt it down. But he has enough energy that DTs are not really something that's going to matter for a while in this game.
Right, right. We've seen DT openers where they all in after that as well, even if the guy's on one base, because you can make an Archon and just crush the force field. But it looks like he's not going to do that
Some
now.
people do go Blink with it into all-ins as well with that
that's
Mothership
true,
core.
too.
But looks like MC, you know, he is getting Blink, which is never a bad call against the Stargate openers, and his Nexus as well. So he's just going to have to defend against additional Oracles, and we'll have to see how this goes as far as tech for his opponent.
All right, he's doing a lot of... I'm really surprised by this move here. But, you know, what is... Oh, I guess we don't have the preview screen. I was going to ask you what the probe count was.
Well, it's 30 against 27.
Okay.
But, you know, I don't think that one was a good sacrifice.
No, that wasn't
the first one was an okay sacrifice, but
in fairness, I mean, he's still ahead as far as workers go.
Yeah, that's true.
But not by enough that it's worth sacking something as important as an Oracle.
He does have good tech as well. He has that Stargate out, and it's going to be hard for MC to actually figure out, is he making Phoenixes, is he making Void Rays? But instead, he went into Robotech and is making Immortals, which is going to do very well against the Blink upgrade that MC has gotten.
All right, it looks like the Oracle's going to come in here and do damage again. It is interesting to see that Flying really is completely okay losing the Oracle.
Yeah, he just wants to kill probes,
and maybe he thinks he's more ahead than he is.
Well, this one's actually doing a pretty good job so far. Oh, and the Nexus Cannon does come down. Wants to get out, but he won't this time. That was... Now, see, this is kind of funny, isn't it?
He's going to get more and more behind now.
Yeah, because the last one was kind of questionable, and then we see this one where there's a Nexus Cannon. You're not going to get away. That's when you sacrifice 100% every time. But some poor decisions there, I guess, by Flying.
All right, we got the Stalkers coming up now. And I'm under the impression with both these guys, I don't think either one knows who's quite ahead or behind.
Yeah,
because the way that Flying keeps going in there, it makes sense if Flying was doing this if he knew his opponent had, like, I don't know, 15 probes, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter, just kill a few more. You could still make sacrifices like that as long as you're staying ahead, but I think Flying had a much bigger advantage, and he kind of threw away a lot of the edge that he had here by just being too aggressive.
Have to agree, like, to throw away the second and third Oracle, you know, there's reasonable reasons. He may have looked away from the third Oracle and just sent it away, thinking there wasn't enough energy for Nexus Cannon or something. But you know, that was a bit rough, and it would be nice to have things like Revelation still. But one thing I do want to point out is that MC is switching into double Stargate, while Flying is trying to go for Colossus tech now. So as far as tech paths go, MC's should come out superior here. He has Blink Stalkers already on the map. And with those Blink Stalkers, he has complete map control. There's no way that Flying can move out anytime soon, which is going to allow him to mass enough air units to counter the Colossus tech very easily.
Yeah, and MC is going to keep this Stargate tech a secret. He doesn't want to show this just yet. He wants to essentially blindside Flying with all these air units that just, you know, by the time he finds out, it's already too late. He's already invested in something that's not going to yield any good results.
Well, he is flying through with this Phoenix, and he saw it.
Did he see it?
Okay. Yeah, he definitely saw that. Okay, so he now knows that there's a lot of Phoenixes on the way, and this is where you say, oh, okay, no more Colossus, okay? This is where he needs to actually start adding a lot of anti-air, whether he wants to go Stalkers with Blink or go up to Archons, we'll see.
Interesting. Blinks into the main here. Targeting down probes, blinking over to the other side.
Yeah, getting quite a few, in fact. You know, this is one of the nice things about Blink. He does have complete mobility over his opponent.
And it looks like, well, he's going to take some damage here, but, well, I think that Nexus Cannon was a bit overkill, but,
yeah,
I mean,
it certainly was.
Might as well. But anyways, Well, I did some damage to the probes there. As you can see, though, Flying taking a third. It's going to be completed shortly. And we got Void Rays on the way here for MC.
Yeah, Void Rays and Charge, and I love what I'm seeing here, especially because Flying didn't overcommit to Colossus. Well, making any is kind of an overcommittal against Double Stargate, but you know, the Charge is going to help him out because there's not enough splash damage on his opponent's side. You know, right now Flying's just getting Blink, and Void Ray with some Phoenixes and Charge Lots is going to kill that.
Really nice pickups here from MC. You got that Sentry, you got the Mothership taking out some probes, and he's going to be able to get out easy peasy.
Yeah, I would say for sure here, MC is showing a higher understanding of the way the new PvP functions. You know, he's doing really nice tech switches. He's getting nice combinations of units, whereas I feel like Flying is playing Wings of Liberty, Protoss versus Protoss, with Oracles.
That's a really good way to put it. He's incorporated the new unit, but he's not using it correctly. And yeah, I think you're right with the tech switches from these guys too. And for the time being, I feel like Flying's just stuck, basically. There's not a lot of options that he really has right now.
No, he doesn't really. And, you know, the units that MC is making are just kind of more valuable in the long term. But, okay, Flying did just throw down a Templar Archives. And this is nice because, you know, any Storm will be useful, any Archons will be useful. But at the same time, MC adding a Robotics Bay. And this is the funny part. Because of the way that these techs have gone back and forth, if he goes Colossus Void Ray against someone that has neither Void Rays nor much of any real unit composition, like basically MC's setting himself up with a far superior army.
Yeah. And this is a great late game tech here from MC. I think this is probably going to be a 2-0 this series.
It could be.
To be frank.
It could be. I mean, MC he knows what he's doing.
Especially once he gets this Void Ray lead. It's one of these things where the more Void Rays you get, it's almost like your strength goes up exponentially because everything just dies so quickly. I mean, most full-on engagements in StarCraft 2 battles don't last very long at all. And so with that Void Ray ability, if you get them into a place where they have to commit, for instance, when they're defending their third base or their second base, you just win.
That is true. You know what? Flying too, though, he's actually making some good decisions here. Look at this. He's getting Psystorm to help deal with the Void Rays, and he's getting a Dark Shrine against an MC that hasn't had to deal with any cloaked anything yet.
Yeah, and some good DTs coming in there can turn the whole game around.
Absolutely, especially since he has those Phoenixes flying around. He's less likely to make very many defensive cannons because he has such a mobile contingent. So any DTs that come out definitely have the possibility of killing quite a few probes or maybe some tech structures.
All right, so we got the Colossus now coming out and to join with MC's army. And this is a smart move here to come in there with the Phoenixes. He's able to scout and come in and take out probes. And despite the cannons being there, he's still, I mean, look at this, it's amazing.
Yeah, he does not even care about those. He is destroying the economy here of Flying, and Flying is taking just so much damage. He doesn't really care about those Phoenixes anymore.
I think this game's going to come to the tipping point here. Oh, we got DTs, actually. DTs going over towards that second.
Yeah, the Natural actually does have DTs in it, but MC isn't moving. And I'm not sure how much damage those DTs are doing right this second. Again, guys, sorry, we don't have the PC quite yet. Just move the studios. But there we go. The DT in there. And, oh, only 2 kills. Okay. Not the biggest of deals yet.
Didn't quite click well there.
Yeah. Now, this is going to be interesting. There's a lot of Stalkers with Blink and a good amount of Psystorms in here.
The Zealots with Charge here.
Now, if he can absolutely decimate this Void Ray force, then he still has a chance.
All right, and it looks like he's going to get some storms off here. Really nice. Kind of fishing the army back towards him so they have to run through the storms. He's triggered the Void Rays on now.
And I tell you what, this composition of MC is a little bit too strong for Flying right now. You know, High Templars are very strong with Psystorm at the moment, but that's when you have Void Rays with you to kill their Colossus. Thing is, he has nothing that kills Colossus right now. He has Blink Stalkers and Psystorm. That's not enough to deal with this.
Well, if you Colossi in the army, I guess it's kind of a soft ground army, which is stuff like Stalkers and Sentries and Zealots.
That's a very good way to put it.
Let's start calling it that.
Soft ground army.
Soft ground army.
Soft serve Protoss over here.
Yeah, exactly. It's not well done.
Flying is about to drop his ice cream cone.
Oh.
All right, well, Yeah, I mean, just like Broodlords against Templars in Zerg vs. Protoss, the Colossi are going to zone out the High Templars, so they aren't going to get the storms that they need on the Void Rays. Basically, the unit composition of MC is just better at the moment, but Flying restarts his Thermal Lance and starts making Colossus. So he's aware. You know, he's a step behind MC, but he is making moves that can... Yeah, he's adapting while he goes.
He's not... I don't want to... How do I say this? It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. It's just that MC's a little bit ahead. But, yeah, I mean, Flying is trying to turn this around. He's not doing a terrible job of it either.
You know, a lot of matchups in Heart of the Swarm right now have quite a bit to do with countering and recountering as quickly as you possibly can and getting the right unit composition and tweaking what you have. And the thing is, MC is just a little bit quicker at all that right now, which is giving him little edges in the game.
All right, we got Zealot versus Zealot engagement here. As range battles go, same rules. Concave always better than the convex.
But it's always important as well. Yep. And Flying does have that +2 attack compared to the +1 of MC, so definitely making a difference.
All right, so it looks like he's going to regroup again. Flying now taking a 4th base. And, yeah, I mean, this is going to be, by the way, I like the double robo there.
Yeah.
MC is almost maxed out here, and Flying is not too far behind, 10 supply behind right now. You
know, when you don't have any Void Rays in the composition in the late game of Protoss vs. Protoss, it may as well be Wings of Liberty. The Colossus is going to dominate if there's no Void Rays. And Flying with no Void Rays, what in the world is he going to do with this type of army? Try to pretend that this is Wings of Liberty for anyone watching out there that has watched Wings of Liberty. Imagine this army that we see right now for Flying trying to fight a large Colossus army. Death is all that happens to it. That's the only thing waiting for him. So at this point, when he sees really what this composition is, he either has to switch hugely into Colossus plus Storm plus Templar, which is going to be really hard, or hugely into maybe... You know, maybe Tempest or something like that could work.
I like the Tempest switch here. This is going to basically allow him to end up in a siege mode scenario. Where he can slowly chip away at his opponent. His opponent's basically going to be forced to engage, or you
just start hitting his Colossus with those. But Flying is in such a tough spot here. I really want to see him start running around with his Blink Stalkers and losing them so that he can get a better army.
All right, we got the Nexus Cannon on. Void Rays are going to charge up. Nice time warp there too.
Oh, nice storms going down. Beautiful storms.
That was close.
Really, really well done there.
1 or 2 more storms there, and he would have lost that for sure.
Yeah, MC's Colossi lagging a bit behind. These Void Rays taking huge amounts of damage.
The thing is, I think he could just chase him across the map right now. Well, he's got too many Colossi. Like, nothing matters
exactly. Right now. Even if he kills every Void Ray with taking 0 damage from them, the Colossi count is still vastly in the favor of MC.
Nice job, though, here with the Warp Prisms. Warping in a lot of Zealots. He's trying to get the MC's army to turn around, and it's working. He's not going to go across the map and engage Flying's base.
Yeah, this is a really nice move by Flying. You know, he's going to lose all these Zealots, but this was an important movement to keep MC off of his back. And now, you know, there is this big unit switch with MC going into Tempest Colossus, and Flying is going to have to change up what he's doing, but he keeps poking with this little tiny army that has no chance of actually breaking anything.
I like what Flying's doing. I just don't know how he's going to actually win this. He's doing a good job keeping MC at home, but... And look at the supplies, too. Every time that they engage, Flying loses about 50 supply.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. But he's adding a lot of gateways, which shows us exactly what his plan is. He's not going to try to switch in any air units. He's actually just going to go for a gateway-based composition. And, you know, that's going to allow him with quicker reinforcements, so maybe he can get something done.
Yep, maybe. Now we got a lot of Archons here, which are going to be great against any Protoss Flying units, since, you know, they clump up and Archons do the splash damage. But it looks like MC is ready to engage. He's not going to be zoned out anymore. Now, there's a Warp Prism coming back here. He'll probably do a lot of damage to the 4th with that, but we'll see.
Well, that's a lot of Archons.
Yes, it is.
Wow. He is about to have 11,
bag full of cotton balls.
It really does. Well, we'll see if he can actually break anything with this. Now, Archons do well against Tempest. If they can get up on the Colossi, they do well as well. It's just, can he close it in time? Let's see.
Oh, man, I see you get punished so hard when you retreat against this kind of army comp because the Tempest just keep getting shots off.
Yeah, they certainly do. And see, MC's doing such a good job. He's being so patient. Look at that. 2 Archons picked up for nothing. And some more starting to go down. Psy Storms littering the ground. But is this enough? Is this big enough?
Well,
He's
he's
a
coming
beautiful
behind
flank.
with Stalkers.
Whoa, flying.
Oh my God!
Beautifully
I
done
think he
here.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
One
think
Colossus
he's going to
left.
break this army. But it's not over yet. The supply's getting a lot more close here. And, you know, that's MC based his army so much off of siege units. And super long-range units are very weak if you can flank them, if you can get up close. And that's what Flying did there. He utilized his reinforcements, his gateway-based army, and outmaneuvered the slower siege tech army of MC.
This is just so good by Flying. I'm really impressed. I mean, this game's what? It's gone to almost 30 minutes. He's been in a deficit for most of this, and now he's able to, looks like take out the fourth. I mean, these Zealots are not going to be very useful against Archons, especially the way the Archons are positioned.
Oh yeah, this base definitely going down. That's going to leave Flying up, which is kind of a crazy thing after how well MC played the early portions of this game.
It's wild.
Yeah. Well, you know, MC not dead yet. He still has his chances. He's actually remaking a good unit composition. I think he's going to skip Tempest, which is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, no, you
Tempests are cool, but you have to be in a much more defensive spot to be able to use them.
Well, you want to get Tempest is sort of like the cherry on the cupcake as far as army comp goes. Well. Yeah, there you go. I said it.
Well, here we go.
Going on my tombstone. All right, so we got our Archons coming in here now, doing a lot of damage. I think this. Did he do it?
I think there's a very good chance that he did, Faceless.
Yep, GG.
All right.
How's about that?
Well, let's talk about that real quick because